There are certain events throughout history that can create permanent societal and infrastructural changes, and we believe that the COVID-19 pandemic is one of them. The world now needs a new posture around biosafety and the standards that we uphold to interact with human health. Our mission at R0 is simple: to create safer spaces for all organizations, for your staff, your patrons, your communities, and ultimately make human health more equitable. R0's hospital-grade infection prevention technologies are bigger than just the COVID-19 pandemic. From the seasonal flu to the common cold to COVID, the actions you're taking today are going to have lasting impacts on your organization forever. ARC is designed to treat both surfaces and air. Its hospital-grade UVC destroys all pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, mold, and fungi. ARC produces 360 degrees of UVC light at a wavelength of 254 nanometers, in a dose that effectively inactivates viruses and bacteria in minutes and stops the spread of dangerous pathogens in your space. Unlike chemical disinfection methods, UVC light eliminates exposure to chemicals and leaves behind no harmful chemical residue. This means that there is no downtime and a room is immediately safe to re-enter following a disinfection cycle. Let's take a look at ARC. Starting at the top, it has 360 degrees of infrared motion sensors that will detect even the slightest motion in a room. If any movement or heat is detected by these sensors, the unit will immediately shut off as a safety precaution. The rated lamp life of each bulb is 16,000 hours. The bulbs actually get more effective after the first 1,000 hours, so make it your workhorse. Up and down the entire length of the unit are 8 high-output UVC lamps that deliver 360 degrees of hospital-grade UVC light. Behind the lamps are specialized aluminum reflectors that help intensify and uniform the light distribution for maximum efficacy. Cycle times can be different depending on the room setup and size. We'll show you how to select the cycle time later on. ARC uses about the same amount of power as a hairdryer. We recommend plugging it directly into the wall and not using a surge protector. The unit is 75 pounds, with most of the weight distributed at the base of the unit to prevent it from tipping. Now, let's touch on safety. UVC is harmful to human skin and eyes, so ARC can only be run in unoccupied spaces. We've built in several redundant safety mechanisms, including a 30-second countdown to give you time to exit the room, and motion sensors that will detect motion and heat from up to 40 feet away. We also provide caution signs for you to place at all entrances of the treatment area, and we suggest locking the door during a cycle if at all possible. ARC should be an integral part of your disinfection plan. Consider it an augmentation to your standard cleaning protocols. Keep in mind, you still need to clean a surface before using ARC, as UVC is less effective if it has to cut through dirt and grime on surfaces. Cleaning refers to physically wiping away dirt, spills, and removing any particles from surfaces. Cleaning alone does not kill pathogens, so this should be considered the first step. UVC is a disinfection method which targets a kill of the pathogen. ARC will successfully replace Clorox disinfecting wipes or electrostatic spraying. ARC is designed to work most effectively in rooms or spaces up to 3,500 square feet. When determining where to position ARC, there are 2 key things to remember: line of sight and farthest distance to the wall. Anything farther than 24 feet away from the device will not be disinfected properly. Every ARC arrives with a laser measuring tool. Stand in the exact spot you intend to position the device and aim the laser at the wall. If it's within 24 feet from all surfaces, you're good to go. If the room is too large, you will need to reposition the ARC for more than one cycle. Secondly, you will need to determine how long to run a cycle at each location. After measuring the distance to your device from the farthest wall you want to disinfect, take a look at this chart to see how many minutes you need to run that cycle. The last thing to note here is that only air and surfaces that are directly exposed to the UVC light will be disinfected. Any large shadows created by furniture and other obstructions in a room will block the light from reaching and disinfecting a surface. Depending on the size of your space, you may need to reposition ARC for additional cycles to ensure that all high-risk areas are disinfected. You will also receive a set of floor stickers to help mark the locations where your team will regularly run ARC. If you have multiple staff members operating the device, or a larger number of rooms to cover, these stickers will help your team remember where to place ARC for disinfecting cycles. When prepping a room for treatment, make sure the room is empty of all people and animals. Pull out chairs, close the blinds or shades to disinfect those surfaces as well. We also suggest covering plants or just removing them from the room. Put up the do not enter signs that will come with the device. And again, make sure the room is clean, as UVC will not penetrate papers, spills, or dust. Now that ARC is in position and we've determined the cycle time, let's run it. Plug the cord into a 3-prong outlet and flip the power switch at the base of the device. Then press the power button located at the top left of the control panel on the handle. It will start with a default time setting. Simply use the up and down arrows to change it to the time you need and press play. Immediately after you press play, the light on top of the ARC will start flashing yellow. When this light starts pulsing, you have 30 seconds to exit the room before the UVC cycle begins. If someone accidentally enters the room during a disinfection cycle, the sensors at the top will immediately power the ARC down. If this happens, the light on top will turn red and the cycle will need to be restarted. To ensure the air and surfaces have been properly disinfected, a full cycle needs to be completed. If interrupted, simply press the start button twice to reset a cycle and hit play again. Once the cycle is completed, the light on top will turn green, and the room is immediately safe to enter. At this point, you may notice a clean smell after returning into the room. This smell is completely safe, and simply a result of the UVC light breaking down proteins in the air. It's actually a sign that the air is cleaner than it's ever been before. When not in use, store ARC in a dry environment where it won't be exposed to moisture. The bulbs are delicate, so make sure nothing is leaning against the unit. Finally, if the device is stored somewhere cold, let ARC warm up to room temperature before starting a cycle. ARC is very easy to move as it stands on a sturdy base with 4 swivel casters. Always push the device from the handles and not the main tower. Try to avoid bumping the unit into door frames or other obstacles. Be mindful of transitions on the floor while pushing it from room to room, and always lock the casters when parking the unit. When replacing bulbs or doing any maintenance to ARC, make sure power is disconnected. First, lock the device in place by pushing the casters down. The top of the bulb is the end with the smooth cap, and the bottom of the bulb has 4 pins. Hold the bulb at an angle and guide the top end of the bulb into the opening near the top of the device and apply pressure upwards. Guide the bottom of the bulb toward the socket holes on the base of the lamp. The pins are arranged in a rectangular pattern, so make sure to carefully align the pins with the socket holes. Once aligned, press the bulb downward to ensure the pins are fully seated. To remove a bulb, simply reverse the process by pushing upward on the bulb to unseat the pins. Then pull outward at an angle starting from the base. Thank you for choosing R0 as your biosafety partner and taking a pioneering step in keeping your employees and communities safe. We look forward to demonstrating our commitment to you over time.